welcome back to DETV, Every Woman. I am Heather Cox, your host, and we are talking entrepreneurship with every woman here, a diverse set of voices in regards to business and women in business, specifically in entrepreneurship. So let me go around and introduce everybody. So,
hello, my name is Diante Simmons, owner of Cabernet Candles, Delaware's first candle and craft cafe.
lovely.
I'm Latisha Scott, owner of Casa Cottonwood and Closet Conscious, Delaware's first premier outdoor space venue.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hubbard, owner and founder of Ultimate Scholastic Staffing Solutions, Street Smarts, and new addition that was just added, will be announced, is Doggy Spa on Martha Street in Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh, I love that. And congratulations to all of you women for such amazing business adventures. I am just floored at how many women in business there are here in Delaware. So when did you get started in your business?
So I started Cabernet Candles 5 years ago. We've had our brick and mortar location in historic Newcastle for 2.5 years now.
Oh my God.
And it started as just a candle bar cafe where you come in, make your own candles. We moved on now to add perfumes. We curate art events in conjunction with the Newcastle Historical Society to bring a lot of minority artists out to the area to exhibit. So we've definitely grown in the amount of time that we've been in business.
Everything that smells good, right? Everything for your business.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I love that so much. Fantastic. I love that. And what about you? How long have you been in business for?
I would consider myself a serial entrepreneur, so this is my third business. I initially started with What About a Clutch, which is a handbag business that I created several years ago, and it just doesn't stop. I feel like God has given me the gift of creativity, so it's just something that I seem to fall into and excel at.
Yeah, we can tell you're creative. Love your glasses. Love them so much. And what about you? What was your business, babe?
I'm going to piggyback off what you said, because I am like, my mind keeps going and going and going and going. So my number one business is USSS. It's a staffing agency. I staff the state of Delaware school districts, public charter schools, Delaware, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Virginia school districts, similar to Kelly, but growing. So right now I have 4 school districts four states that I staff, and a count of 50 school districts total that I staff at the age of 34. But I keep growing, and I'm like you, so kudos to you.
Yes, that's right. I love that so much.
I got 2 more to make it.
Yes, I love that. So like you said, you work with schools and staffing. Do you feel as though it is harder for women to break into, any jobs or any industry? Because I mean, like you said, you work for a staffing agency. So do you feel as though that women tend to not get looked over, or are you just like, I'm gonna?
No, because I'm a phenomenal woman, and I was always raised and going into school to be that center of attention, to walk in with your head high, and I'm very confident. So I want to walk in a room, demand that respect right there. So no, I don't.
I love that so much, and it is hard to command respect in a male-dominated industry like staffing and social media or business or whatever. Mostly it's just men, and so it's hard to. So what is one of the biggest struggles that you've had to face in regards to being a woman in business?
Well, it's twofold. I'm a corporate girly from 9 to 5. So the thing that I face the most is being negatively labeled. I speak very passionately, so my passion can be negatively labeled by men that could essentially be intimidated by my knowledge. So I experience that a lot. And when I find that someone does label me negatively, I have no problem correcting you and saying I'm assertive. I'm not angry. Don't label me negatively because you might not be able to identify with it, or you may not like my presentation, but I don't have a problem speaking up for myself to say, don't label me negatively.
Yes, no, and I feel like a lot of women in business, like a lot of men are intimidated because we have to be so strong and so forceful. So do you sometimes get like, you're a little intimidating?
So as you're a 9 to 5 corporate girly, I actually work in law enforcement. That is my profession. Yes. So I have been in law enforcement for almost a decade now, and being in a male-dominated industry, especially as a strong and independent woman, I'm very aware of myself. I'm aware of my knowledge. I'm aware of my skills. That is very intimidating for some, especially those who have been in the sector longer than I have. Obviously, they feel like they know more than me. They know better than me, but I offer a different perspective, a unique perspective. So my way of doing things might not be like theirs, but it works. Not to mention, it works for multiple people. So that means that I can also teach others. I'm available to teach others, and I'm willing to teach others. And that's something that's amazing and not really brought to the forefront in a male-dominated industry.
100%. I love that so much. And so you talk about you have a full-time job, you're a 9 to 5, but you also own your own business, right? So do all of you ladies have like a 9 to 5 plus your own business, or is full-time here with their business? I know you're 9 to 5 with your candles. Are you full-time with your business? Yeah. So tell me about it. Like, how did you go from like 9 to 5 to be like, all right, I'm out and I'm going to do my own thing?
It's funny. I went to school for criminal justice, so I did probation officer, cop, corrections. I did everything. I was a care bear officer. So I was in your shoe. I call it as a risk taker, being a risk taker. And I remember when I was working in law enforcement, I walked in and said, I want to be the warden. I want to be the warden. And in a male field, you're never going to be that. You're never, no, and I had to stop. I'm beauty and brain. So just it's being a risk taker. And I don't want to work for anyone. Like, and I got to the point that I got tired of calling off work when I don't want to call work. Like, I can make my own decisions. I determine when I want to get up, and I determine my paycheck. That's what keeps me going.
I love that so much. So I started, I was like, I'm out of this 9 to 5, out of BS, sorry. When I was like 21. So what is gonna make you be like, okay, like I'm going all in instead of,
So for me, I'm always a person who keeps a safety net. So I will probably always have, not to mention, I love the position that I'm in, being able to serve my community in a way that is desperately needed right now in the law enforcement sector. So I don't plan on leaving at this very moment. And when I'm ready, then I'll go. I've always set myself up to do what I know I'm supposed to do at that time, whatever makes me happy at that time. I do have children, probably like many of the women up here, and they have been amazing in their journey as well. And as they move on in their journey to becoming adults, and I become an empty nester, then my path may change. But until then, I am not setting that in stone. I am just working with what life gives me at the moment, and I am making sure that I'm taking advantage of every single moment.
Now, speaking of the kids, right? Do they look at you and they're like, I want to do this. I want to be a business owner just like my mom. Yes, your son. So tell me about it.
My son is London. He started his new business, a clothing line called New Bellevue, which means the path to success is never straight. And he gives me credit. I was telling him, you don't give me credit, you give God credit. But he's like, Mom, I watched you build different businesses and, come up against different adversities, and you still keep going. So the fact that he looks at me as a role model in that light, he's like my biggest accomplishment. So for him to go down that path and go that way, it warms my heart. So yeah.
I love that so much. What about you?
So I have a son named Caden. He's 13. He's on my payroll. So he does the invoices. I teach him little, and he looks up to me a lot, and I'm proud. The most proudest moment is I did an IEP meeting with my son in the school, and they read his goals and things, and he put on there, and they told me all the bad stuff, but as a mother, the most proudest moment when he put, I want to be a CEO, the next CEO of my mom's company. Aww. And that just brought tears to my. They said he didn't want to be a basketball player. I said, no, he put what he put. He wants to be, he's the next CEO. This business is for him. And then he put, where do you plan to reside? The funny part was in the back of my mom's house. But it's just like you. Kudos to your son. He just, he looks up to me.
That is amazing. And so, your son, any kids?
So I have girls.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have girls.
Do they want to do anything?
The oldest is actually starting her new journey. She's graduating from Del State this year.
Oh,
so I'm very, very proud of her. She is into math statistics.
Oh, very cool.
And my baby girl is going into her senior year of high school, and she is on the engineering path.
That's very cool.
So I have, and I've always told them, whatever path you take, just know that you can always pivot.
Yeah,
you can always pivot in life. You do not have to stay on the same plan that you made when you were 10, when you were 15, when you were 17. You can always pivot to do what ultimately makes you happy. So if you want to start a business, just know I am here to help you 100% of the way. I'm here to support you 100% of the way, whatever that plan may be.
I love that so much. And it has been such a great conversation with you ladies about entrepreneurship. So thank you so much for joining us here on DETV, Every Woman, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.